Hi, this is Nick. Welcome to this episode of Bandkind with People Loving Nashville. We're going to talk to Joey, and he's going to tell us what things are like downtown in Music City. Hi, I'm Nick with Bandkind, and I am so excited to be focusing on People Loving Nashville. We talked to Christian, we'll talk to Ryan, Michael Tate too, one of the beloved volunteers. And now we're speaking with Joey. Joey, welcome to Bandkind. I'm so glad you're here to talk about People Loving Nashville.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be a part of this and hopefully inform you guys a little more about what we do and what's going on in our city.
Yeah, I love that you guys are in the city in such a big way. And I hope that people are connecting with you. How are they connecting with People Loving Nashville?
So we got a lot going on during the week. So we have like sort of our staple outreach programs. Every Monday night, we meet at War Memorial in downtown. We serve food, we bring clothing. We have a help desk there where people can come and we can help them sign up for food stamps or get a new driver's license, things like that. Just things, if you're living on the streets, you may not have access to a computer all the time or a phone to call someone you need to. So we just provide the means and resources there at the desk for them to take care of that. And we've been doing Monday nights for 13 years now. We have not missed a Monday night down at War Memorial, rain, shine, snow, whatever it is.
What a committed team that you have over there at People Loving Nashville. I did see that image of that television screen downtown at War Memorial that said, do you need help with food stamps? Do you need help with your driver's license? That shows that People Loving Nashville is doing things differently.
Yeah, I hope so. And we serve between 200 and 300 people every Monday night and just provide a space to feel loved on, feel community, hang out. I'll have people come and just sort of want to chat about the football game or whatever's been going on in their lives. Yeah. So it's a pleasure. It's good for me. I think a lot of our volunteers too, they make it a regular thing because they've built community and made friends just being there and serving.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Joey. That is building community. When you just have somebody who is willing to give you an ear. And you know what? That's a little bit ironic sometimes in Music City because a lot of people are trying to get the ear of a lot of other people in connection and community. Do you find that there are people that are involved in music that are the people who are looking for homes or looking for help or looking for more direction from you guys?
It's a very, very small amount of people, I would say, like a very small percentage. We have folks that come down with guitars all the time and will jam and sing. Right. I think it's more of just it's something they love and do, whether they're chasing a dream of being some type of rock star or anything like that. It's a small portion of the folks we deal with that are actually involved or want to be involved or had a dream to be in the music industry here in Nashville.
I know there's a lot of folks, especially during the COVID time, that were struggling and found themselves struggling in new ways, but really just decided to volunteer instead of, retreating from community, which is dangerous.
Yeah. And we did see, an influx during COVID of the involvement. There's a lot of things we just had to think through. Build processes to keep, our volunteers and the people we serve safe and healthy. Right. But it's been cool seeing that progression and seeing everyone come around it. We've even done COVID vaccines down at War Memorial. Wow. Anyone who wanted to do it, there was a health clinic that came down and they did it for them. So it's really just banding together. We have a lot of resources with other organizations who do things we don't do, who come down and are a part of what we do on Monday nights. You have people, barbers that come down and cut hair, mobile showers, foot clinic. That's a new thing. We have someone coming down and making sure our people's feet are taken care of because they're walking around the city all day, every day, really puts wear and tear on their feet. And so it's beautiful seeing the different sort of talents and expertise come in and say, hey, how can I help?
Yeah, the service that is coming into People Loving Nashville is what is so exciting to me because it's helping people in the process. And not only the people who desperately need the help, but it's giving help to those that are serving in a way that maybe they didn't expect.
Yeah.
Have you heard a story from somebody who served that realized it's become more to them than they first thought?
Yeah, I actually have a really good friend who I met through some interesting circumstances. I had the pleasure of going down into a large encampment in downtown Nashville, where probably about 100 residents sleep in tents underneath some bridges and in like sort of wooded areas along the Cumberland River. So I would go down there twice a week and bring lunches and just sort of meet needs, see, hey, do you guys need new sleeping bags or clothes or, even just like toothpaste, things like that. And while I was doing that, I built a lot of relationships. I have a lot of friends that live down there still and are, waiting and working towards housing and taking care of like other things that are going on in their lives, is trying to get back into a stable situation. And recently we found out that the city is trying to turn this area into a park. And with sort of just like God orchestrating things, and I don't like to say random chance, but chance, a really good friend of mine now stumbled in, and he was the lead landscape architect on this job. And he asked if he could come down and just sort of hang out and see what was going on down there. Yeah. And man, he came down, and he's been coming down once a week with me now, serving lunches, making friends, building that relationship and community. As so much so that he's sort of like felt a conviction to step away from his role in the development of this place into a park, because of the connections he's made and the relationships he's built there. It becomes difficult when you start to not just see these people as homeless, but see these people as friends. It becomes difficult to know that, like, yes, maybe they're living in tents under there, but this is their home. And they've welcomed us into their home, and we get to hang out and be a part of that part of life of theirs. A lot of people don't get to see that. And I think once you see that and you experience that, it changes a lot of things. So.
Yeah. Do you find that the attitudes are hopeful, or do you find that they're looking for hope, or are they sharing hope with each other?
I think all of that. Hope is my word. I always go back to it because, I'll be talking to someone and say, why don't you want to work towards housing or whatever's going on? Let's deal with these things that maybe are holding you back. Yeah. And it 90% of the time, it is a lack of hope. What I've been here for so long, people don't respect me. I don't feel dignified in life. And it's just working with them and loving them and helping them realize that, like, hey, everyone is privileged enough to dream. And I think sometimes it's hard to dream when you feel alone or isolated or outcast. So hope is a big thing, and trying to like teach them, what does hope feel like? Like, what is that? But you do see those down there that really do see life as a gift. Even living in a tent next to the Cumberland River, I have people that live down there that if I don't have someone volunteering with me that day and I'm alone, and I'll have 20, 30 people wanting to like talk to me or get something from me or see if I have a t-shirt that fits them. I'll have folks that are living down there, let me help you serve food, and they'll serve each other.
Wow.
And I'll get text messages from some of the people that have phones down there. Hey, so-and-so is in need of this. Do you have that? And I'll be like, I don't have that right now. He's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to find this for that person. And they'll go and spend, money that they've like worked a part-time job and trying to save up, but they'll see a need down there, something they can do for someone else that they would deem like more vulnerable than them or in a tougher situation, and they'll go out of their way and they'll take care of that need. And it's beautiful seeing that. And I feel like I've been like restored in hope going down there, like hope in humanity, hope in, just what we can do as people, just honestly sitting down and talking with someone.
Yeah. Joey, I'm so glad you said that, because it sometimes is that easy, is that simple, is that singular, just offering somebody dignity. What do you see dignity is among the people that and the friends that you work with?
I think maybe in the simplest form, just being seen. Feeling like you're there, that someone wants to be present with you, that someone recognizes your abilities, your talents, your desires, your dreams. Just being seen. And I think that campaign you were speaking of, do you see us? That's it. I mean, I meet a lot of folks that you talk to them like, oh yeah, have you ever seen, someone standing on the side of the road with a sign? Or did you know that there's camps in downtown Nashville that house 100 folks? And a lot of them aren't aware of that. A lot of them don't know that when I drive over the 24, or I'm headed towards Nissan Stadium, that I'm legitimately driving over 100 homes.
Wow.
Underneath those bridges. And that's where I think dignity comes in, is just stepping back and realizing this is happening and acknowledging, I see you.
Yeah. Do you see more young people there since COVID?
Living in the camps, I wouldn't say it's predominantly young people. I have folks that are in their 60s, and I've met, some 18-year-olds. So it's a wide variety of ages. The demographics down there, I don't think there's something you could pinpoint as this is the type of person who lives down there. Yeah, I think it's a lot of past trauma. The most of these folks have had to deal with in life, a lot of them in younger ages, and that just sort of continuing to manifest itself as life progressed. I mean, one of my really, really good friends that lives down there, he's 53 years old. He's been displaced or without a permanent home since the 80s. And it was tragedy that sort of put him in that place. He was living in San Francisco. There was that big earthquake out there. He lost everything, his home, his job, everything fell apart then. And it's been a struggle trying to pick up the pieces and start over. And it's sort of like a trickle effect, one thing after another. He start climbing the hill again and feel like he was going to make it, and then another tragedy, and he lost his daughter. There was just stuff that it's difficult. It's difficult to work through. And talking about isolation is, during this whole time he felt alone. So before even COVID or a pandemic, people are feeling alone and without help or without encouragement or someone to just say, hey, let me just be here while you're going through this. I think apart from the pandemic shutting everything down, we were already experiencing loneliness or solitude. So,
yeah. What are some things that keep you focused, keep you on track for the future?
Yeah, that is a tough question, because I feel like there's so much to look forward to. When you're sort of walking alongside someone in these tough times and you see the progress, you see someone get housed that you've known for a year, that's been living on the streets, and you get to sort of walk into their new apartment, or you receive a picture of them in fresh clothes in this new place, just biggest smiles you've ever seen.
Wow.
That keeps me going. I mean, there's a lot of hard things. I see a lot of hard things and have to work with people through things that I come home at night and, I worry and I pray and I hope things will move towards, the better side of things for folks. But it's those small glimpses in hey, there's that hope. There's the end right there, or the next step even. When I look at the four pillars and I think, we have relief, community connection. And now we're starting to engage in this development thing. So we've been working with folks on the street predominantly for 13 years. So bringing them relief, food, clothing, camping gear, just survival, things, like things they need to survive on the streets, make it a little less difficult. And then us, like stepping into their spaces and bringing community down to where they live, or bringing community to War Memorial, and just building those relationships, where now we've gone from like people coming in and just bringing things to help them survive, to people coming in and like, hey, my friends are coming and they just happen to be bringing clothes and they have food for us. But like, if they didn't have these things, we'd still be here. We'd still sit down and chat.
Yeah.
To then we started moving into like connection, like I said, the help desk on Monday nights, like just making our friends aware, like, hey, there are resources for you to use. There are people who can help you get housing, get food stamps, get, your Social Security benefits, your disability benefit, a lot of things that they just don't even like. We were helping people get stimulus checks.
Yes.
Like just things like, that would like change their world.
Right.
So we started making those connections and stuff. And we started working with the city as part of the Rapid Rehousing Project. So it was an initiative. A lot of it brought on up because of COVID, trying to get people off the streets and into housing for health and safety. And there were a lot of funds that came in so we could start doing this. And we started engaging in that. And we saw hundreds of people go from living on the streets into houses. But stepping into now our fourth pillar, which we're working on, the development side of things, we were seeing this gap, this going from living in a tent to living in an apartment, where eventually you're going to have to start paying rent. So what does that look like? How does someone who has no obligation to a landlord or obligation to a lease, who maybe doesn't know what it's like to look for a job, to interview for a job, has no resume, what does it look like for them to step into this new space where, hey, I got to start thinking about, I got to stock my refrigerator, I got to pay my electric bill, I got to make sure my water's on. And then if I don't pay my rent, I could be on the streets again. And right now we're seeing, they're saying it's about a 75% success rate, which I think is a little high. Folks who are being moved from the streets into housing and then being successful to sustain that themselves. So what we're doing now with the development is we're stepping into that gap. We're going to start developing programs where we can start seeing healing, where we can like start providing counseling to deal with trauma that may be holding them back from getting a job, and stuff like that. So we're going to do, art therapy, equine therapy, counseling sessions. We're going to teach them how to cook. We're going to, teach them how to like get dressed for an interview and make a resume. We're going to develop a business. We can employ folks going through these programs and learning what it's like to like live life again in this, what we would call normal society, I guess you would say, where these folks can come in and gain work experience in a environment that gives them dignity. That because a lot of these people are scared to go look for a job because, oh, hi, I'm homeless or recently homeless. I don't have much experience. Can I please work for you? There's a lot of struggle there. And I think it's mostly internal, like thinking I'm not good enough. I can't get a job. So we want to bridge that gap and we want to say, hey, you are able and you are capable, and this isn't something you can't do. And we would love to see someone step into these programs. That's the kind of like hope and dreaming we want our friends to have and participate in. And we want to bridge that gap and help them succeed and dream again.
That is the key. That's amazing, Joey. You can connect with People Loving Nashville at peoplelovingnashville.com. And you can also connect with them on Instagram at People Loving Nashville. Joey, how did you end up with People Loving Nashville?
The God. So I'm married. I have 4 children. We were living in Florida, and we just didn't feel home. We didn't feel community. We had been there for 7 years and just felt like there was a lack of connection. Like we were trying to build community, and it just wasn't happening. And we sort of, took a step in faith, and we were like, God, where do you want us? And for some reason, Nashville kept coming up for me and my wife. Nashville, Nashville, Nashville. And we legitimately got up and moved. No jobs, nothing, like had no idea where we were going. I flew up here one day, found a place for us to live, and then we packed up and moved. And I was applying for jobs like all day, every day for the first few months we were here. Yeah. And I was getting turned down for I was like, can I clean your toilets for any amount of money? Because I have 4 children to feed. And nope, you're overqualified. Nope. I was like, what does that even mean? But and I was going to the Belonging Co., a church here in Nashville, and I saw a video come up about People Loving Nashville, and I connected with Nate Lampa, who was the outreach pastor there. And I was like, dude, I just want to volunteer. Like, this is my heart. I wanted to I was like, somehow I'm going to get really, really rich one day. I'm going to buy an apartment complex, and I'm going to help people get off the streets and back. And it was funny because those were dreams I was having. And then I was like, wait, this organization's doing that? And so my intentions were just to volunteer. And then I saw a job posting for an outreach specialist, and I was like, I'm just going to apply. I need a job. So 0 experience in social work or outreach. And I got an email from Ryan one day, and he's like, hey man, come interview for this. And here I am. And it's just sort of become life for me. Like it's been every day I say I can't believe this is my job. It's unbelievable. I get to just hang out with my friends, eat meals with them, share life. And that's my job. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. You're down there, you are connecting, you are creating and making friends and offering dignity and hope, is such a special calling and such a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, you've been talking to Joey at People Loving Nashville, and you can find out more details at peoplelovingnashville.com. And you can also connect with them on their socials at People Loving Nashville. Do You See Me? Check out that campaign at their website. Thank you so much, Joey, for spending time with us today.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you for being here with our time with Joey from People Loving Nashville. Once again, you can find out more by visiting them at peoplelovingnashville.com and connect with them on Instagram at People Loving Nashville. Thank you so much for watching.